Some days I feel as if I had been dead for many years and now allowed to come back to the earth for a few months. This is how it can feel at those moments of renewed joy when I'm living here in Paris. You see, I have a major illness which has forced me to live mostly housebound for over 17 years. For the first 13 years of my chemical-related sickness, I thought that I would never be able to leave the United States again, because so often when I leave my home, I just grow sicker. But when I was finally well enough to come to Paris on a holiday several years ago, I was surprised that my health fared better here. The reasons are various, but some of the primary ones are that Paris's climate is better for my health than the rainy, moldy climate of my home city, Seattle. And the chemicals in the air, food, and perfumes here are lower, at least in the chemicals I'm sensitive to. That brief holiday sowed the seeds of a flowering dream to live in Paris for part of each year. So here I sit in Paris, back for my third extended stay. Since my book ends with me setting off to follow my dream of living in Paris, I'd like to share with you how the adventure has turned out so far. This video will be the first in a series I'll shoot here, in which I share with you my Parisian life and some of my favorite haunts in this city of lights. Today I'll show you some of my favorite cafes, which are located near major tourist sites. Much of Parisian life revolves around its cafes. When getting together with my friends here, they frequently suggest meeting in a cafe. People here don't tend to socialize as much in their homes as we Americans do. Several of my favorite cafes just happen to be located near prominent tourist sites. Café Marley is located in the courtyard of the Louvre Museum. I love sitting on their stone terrace, which overlooks the Louvre courtyard with its towering glass pyramid. It's easy to walk right past this cafe without realizing that it's there. So let me show you how to find Café Marley. The best way is to stand in the Louvre courtyard facing north with the glass pyramid behind you. You will see a long white banner with the cafe's name hanging on the long balcony before you. I prefer to go to the cafe before lunchtime, before it gets busy and the throngs of tourists gathering in the courtyard disrupt the wonderful view from the terrace. If you're an early riser and manage to make it there when the cafe opens at 8 o'clock, you may be surprised and delighted by how hushed and peaceful the courtyard can feel. Another one of my favorite cafes is tucked away in the courtyard of the Petit Palais. This cafe may not have the best coffee or food, and its self-serve operation may lack character, but the magnificent circular terrace with mosaic floors and its garden framed by a colonnade make it a favorite place of mine when the weather is warm enough to sit outdoors. The Petit Palais houses a free museum of paintings and sculpture, and while I don't find that the art alone is worth the trip, I enjoy walking around inside the building just to browse its mosaic floors and architecture. But sometimes the Petit Palais has excellent exhibitions, which make the trip all the more special. Finally, another favorite cafe of mine is a 15-minute walk from the Louvre. It's called Priori Tey, and it is another cafe that you could easily walk past without realizing the gem inside. The main reason to visit this tea room and lunch spot is to bask in the lovely atmosphere of the Galerie Vivienne, the glass-covered 1826 shopping arcade in which the cafe stands. 200 of what are called passages once existed all over the city. They allowed Parisians the chance to shop sheltered from the rain. They were originally built upon the model of Arabic arcades and marketplaces. Think of them as forerunners to modern shopping malls, only classier and more intimate. Perhaps what I most love about these cafes is that their settings are grandly steeped in history. They are so different than anything that I would find in my home city, Seattle. How would you like to have one easy thing that's inexpensive, which can help you to create a better life? I reveal that secret in my video, Thriving, Surviving, and Finding Joy.